to the Jazz Band Spring Concert. This is the Delaware Valley Lab Band. For folks who have not seen these guys before, we meet once a week after school. We've been meeting for about 2 months now. I'm not going to talk very much. Whatever pollen is in the air is just destroying me today. So I'm not going to talk very much. Again, thanks for coming tonight, and we're going to go kind of quick. And we're going to have cookies and stuff afterwards. So it's a school night. So. All right.
Sugar.
All right. Yeah. Sugar. Regular jazz band too, so we're going to give them a little bit of a breather. During that time, you're welcome to go out. Our booster parents are selling some snacks and some drinks in the hall, and any money that is brought in by them goes right back to these guys for scholarships and trips, and it goes right to them. So please, they're hungry, even though we're going to have cookies afterwards, please buy them snacks for the ride. And if anybody's interested in helping out the boosters, just please feel free to talk to them out there. They're looking for lots of new folks to help out. And that could be if you want to help man tables, if you want to donate things. It doesn't mean you have to give up a lot of your time, but if you're able to drop off snacks to donate so we can sell them and make money for the kids, that works too. So ask them for more information and they'll be happy to help you out. All right, so again, this is our last song. This is Earth, Wind, and Fire dance mix, so I hope you enjoy it.
So our first senior feature for tonight, so every senior that's in the group gets to choose a song that they would like to play. Some of them choose songs that exist, some of them choose songs for me to write. So this is a song that existed. This is called Brass Machine, and it's going to be featuring Mr. Matt Cecina on trumpet. He's our lead trumpet player. He also went to District Jazz this year. He made that ensemble. So you're going to get to hear lots of really high notes. So he chose it. So I hope you enjoy Brass Machine by our singer Matt Cecina. Yep. So she plays French horn in the concert band. She's multi-talented. She's in chorus. She's in orchestra. She plays violin. And today she chose to play My Foolish Heart on the flugelhorn, which if you've never seen a flugelhorn, it's like a weird wrapped trumpet. So you can hold that on up, let people see. Yeah, so it's like a trumpet, but it's a trumpet's grandfather kind of thing. It's like bigger and wiser. So without further ado, Miss Sophie Allen on My Foolish Heart.
Thank you.
I'm trying to stall over. But this is from The Incredibles. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies, and I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, before we get to our final song of the evening, I would like to have all the seniors come on up front. Come on up, come on up. Seniors, seniors, seniors. Just say hi to our phone, it's fine. Come on up here. These seniors have been an absolute delight to work with. They have been great leaders. Some are in this for the first time. How many people are seniors first time this year? Yeah, so we have a couple of people who are brand new this year, which is awesome. Others have been with us for a couple of years, and but regardless if they're here for 1 or 3 years, they have just done a fantastic job. I'm sorry you didn't get to watch all their senior features. If you come to all the concerts, you probably said you got to see all of them. But I'm going to miss you guys a ton. I mean, you guys should be big kids in a week and a half, so come back and visit. You're always welcome. Thank you guys for making this such a fun year, and actually the whole jazz band. Like, you guys have just been awesome this year, and it was such a family atmosphere this year. Like, they could goof around and come right back, and then be great. And that doesn't happen all the time. As a teacher, trust me, it does not happen all the time. So I'm gonna miss you guys. Please come back and visit, and go do great things.
Thank you for being here.
All right, so our final piece for tonight is actually our last senior feature, which is going to be Nico on the bass. Nico is also a multi-talented kid, and he's been in marching band, did mallets, did piano stuff, and did orchestra, and I bet he can sing too. He can sing, he just doesn't like to. There it is. Okay. So, but you all met Nico before we ran into his music. So, but he shows Uptown Funk, so I wrote this for the band to play. So if you heard Bruno Mars do this one, so Emma's going to be singing, and then we're going to be featuring Nico Carlozzi on the bass. So this is our final song for tonight. Hope you enjoy.